Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan. Today I want to share with us how to make two different types of bustier with a yoke. So if this sounds like what you like to learn, stay on the line while we get started. So I've gone ahead to, this is the one we are going to be working on, and I've already gone ahead to draft everything for this one. So this is the one that we are going to be working on. So I'm going to start afresh, drafting everything on this one. So when we are doing the second method, we are not drafting it, we're just going straight to the. So I'll just start. This is my bust point, I'll just label it, and this is my under bust point, and this is my waistline. So this is my shoulder line. So I'll just go ahead now to take my shoulder divided by 2, and whatever I have, I added it there, and I'm going to slope with 1/2 inch. Yes, then I'm going to take my neck width of 3 inches, and my neck length is going to be 3 inches too. That's 3 by 3. So let's go ahead now to connect our slope to our neckline. Then from there, this is 3 by 3. I'm just going to connect just to make sure we have exactly 3 by 3. So I'm just going to connect this way, and I'll just use my French curve to curve it. So that's it. So from our slope, I'm going to take my armhole measurement. To get your armhole, divide your bust circumference by 6, whatever you have, add 1.5 to it, or you can just divide your shoulder by 2, and that will be your armhole. So when I was done, what I have is 7.5, so I'll just mark it 7.5 over here. Then I'll also mark 7.5 over here. This is just to have a straight line. So I'm just going to connect our 7.5, and I'm just going to draw a straight line towards the other end. So now we are going to take our chest line, because for this bustier we'll be needing our chest line as a guide. So we just take our chest line. I'll just label it. Then from there, you look for the midpoint of your armhole. Whatever you have at the midpoint of your armhole, you just come up there by 1/2 inch, just dot it, then come up there by 1/2 inch at that point, and you're going to connect from your shoulder slope. You're going to connect down to the 1/2 inch, and you're going to also curve it to meet your. So for us to curve to that side, I just want to measure my bust circumference divided by 4, and what I have was 9. So I'll just draw a straight line to meet up the 9 point, and from there I'm just going to dot, just dot, so I can have a smooth curve for my armhole. So after I was done with that, I'm just going to blend it very well. I'll just blend it. You can see our armhole for the front is ready. So we are going to go over now to take our nipple to nipple. Nipple to nipple is from one point of your bust to another one. So mine is 3.5. That's 7 divided by 2. That's 3.05. So that was exactly what I took on my underbust. That's exactly what I took on my bust points and my chest line and my waistline. So I'm just going to go over now to draw a straight lines across, so we can actually take our dart and make our curve. So that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead now to take 2 inches. So I'm going to take 1/2 inch on the other side, then I'm going to take 1.5 inch on the other side, leading to our armhole. So if your bust is a bigger bust, you can actually take 2.5. If your bust is a small bust, you can take 1.5. So mine is a medium sized bust, so I'm taking 2 inches. So I'll 1/2 inch on this side and 1.5 inch from the other side. Go ahead now to connect. Just connect this. Medium size is 2 inches. If your bust is bigger bust, you can use 2.5. So I'm going to go ahead now to connect it to the chest line. So with this, you can have a smooth curve. So from here we are just going to connect to this point, and then we'll connect to the other side, and from there we are going to create our cup. So that is it. We're also going to tighten our neckline. So you're going to come down by 1 inch. This is going to be as a guide for you, so you know where you're cuffing to, so your bust wouldn't be pointed or something. So from that my under bust, I'm just going to connect it like this to the 1 inch that I marked below the under bust, and I'm also going to connect it this way, all to that 1 inch that I marked below the under bust. So that is it. So you're just going to go ahead now to blend, so there will be no sharp edges. So you can see already our cup is already coming out on the other side. Quick one, thank you 1K subscribers. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you. So I'm just going to look for the midpoint of this shoulder, and I'm going to divide it by 2, and from there I'll just connect it to meet the chest line. Just connect it this way with a straight line. You don't really need it, it's just like a guideline. That is it, because the up is going to be a yoke, so that means we are cutting it out, so it's just a guide. So you can see we are now going to take our, we are going to tighten our neckline. Yes, and please, when you're drafting a bustier, there is no way the bust point has to be shown, like the bust point has to be shown. So I'm just going to take, I want to take 1.5 inch. You can actually do 1 inch. So I'll just take half and quarter, then I'll take half and quarter on the other side, and I'm just going to go ahead now to just connect it. So this, how you connect it here is going to depend on how your bust is really going to come out. There is no way you'll be saying your bust is going to be, you just make your bustier to be big everywhere. It's not defined. When you're drafting your bustier, just make sure the bust point, there is a reason why that place is bust point. That means the bust is bigger in that place. So you're just going to make sure that the bust point is defined. Like if someone sees it, they don't know, yes, this is the fullest part. So just go ahead and blend. So you're just connecting it with a sharp curve. You're going to curve it. Yes, if you do it straight, the bust will just be, it will not, the bust will just be there. So guys, you can see we already have our cups available. So I'm just trying to blend them so it will not be sharp in any way, because we don't have any sharp parts in our body. So that's just what I'm trying to do. So you know, if you are taking like 1.5 there or a bigger, the cup will be bigger. So my bust is not big, so that is just okay for me. My bust is bust 36. So now let's go ahead and take our body measurement. My bust divided by 4 plus what we took out for that, that's 1.05. I added it there, and we are going to also take our under bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches that we took out for our that. Yes, that's at 2 inches. So we are also going to now connect the lines together. So yeah, this is the one we took there, we've already added it. So that is it, guys. So this is the normal method that you all know. This is the normal method that you all know, where you reduce it and you add it back and all of that. But the second method is a fresh method that I don't think, okay, I think it's an old method. So you're going to let me know if you guys like it, the one you prefer though. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the allowance that we took, and I'm going to go ahead now to connect. Note I have not taken my, I did not put any allowance. These are just the that. When you're done, when you're cutting it on your fabric. But if you're cutting it on your fabric this way, you're just going to go ahead now to add it. But if it's on a pattern paper, you can just add it on your fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead now and connect to my waistline just like that, and I'm going to just blend it this way. And please, if you watch this video to this point, I want to please beg you to please like this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and turn on the notification button. Thank you so much, guys. So now we want to take our neckline. So this is my chest line. So you're going to determine, just know that from that chest line is just 2 inches to the bust point. So whatever neckline you want to take, just know what you want. You can come down by ½ inch, you can come down by 1 inch. If you come down by 1 inch, you already know that means you took neckline is like 9. So I actually came down by 1. So from that one, I'm just going to connect it. Guys, this totally depends on the style that you're making, how you want it. If the yoke came down, if the yoke was up. So when you're making whatever dress you're making, you're going to see the style and you know exactly what you want. So that is it. So you're just going to connect from here. You can connect from that, you can connect from here. You can make your yoke to get to your armhole. You can make it half the armhole, anyhow you want it, and also know what you're using, like maybe you're using a net or something. So this is it. So for this first one, we are just going to make it come up. The yoke is going to come up from the armhole. It's not going to be at the end of the armhole. So we can just connect it this way and just connect it this way. If you want, you can connect it this way and blend it over like that. You can do like that, blend it over to that side just the way I'm doing it, and also blend this other side to the other side, to the armhole side. It all depends on what you want. Then you now cut it off. Everything depends on how you want it and the style that you're making. So we're just going to, from there, we're just going to connect it. Let's just connect it this way. I don't want it to get to the armhole. I don't want it to be at the end of the armhole. So let's just connect it this way. And this is our sweetheart neckline, you can see. So by the time you open it, you see that your sweetheart neckline came out. So guys, you can see where we took our neckline. So for us to continue this way, we are going to extend these lines to get to our neckline. You know, we are going to cut it off, so you just extend it like this to get to the neckline. Even if your neckline is going up, you still extend it to wherever your neckline stops. You're going to extend that line. Just blend it. There's not going to be any curve there. When I'm cutting it, I'll cut it in a way that there will be no curve there. So that is it. I'll just go ahead now and cut. So I'm going to cut through this, and I'm also going to cut through our yoke. So we now cut this one out, cut this out. You have to be careful when you're cutting it. Cut this out and make sure there are no sharp edges. You can see. And I'm just going to go ahead now to cut my yoke out, and we cut our neckline. So guys, this is what we have. You can see. So by the time you join this and this, you will notice because we came up by that 1.5 to the neckline and we did not replace it, we have a shortage. So make sure if you're cutting on a pattern, you're going to replace it. Do you get me? Maybe when we are doing the second one, you understand better. So this is why after sewing, some people after sewing, you're going to have shortage. You can see after folding it, there is a space here that means it's not enough because we did not add it. We only added it at the bust point. The bust point is okay, but at the armhole we did not add it back, so because it went to the armhole. So but if you're stopping at the bust point or the chest line, I don't think you need that. So this is how it came out, guys. So this is our yoke. You're just going to cut it out. This is like half length, so there is a dress that is going to be attached to it. So you can see how the bust came out. It came out very beautiful. So that is it, guys. So let's get over now to do the. So in this second method, I've already gone ahead to draft everything down and it's on fold. I'm doing on fold so you guys will understand very well. So I've done my chest line, I've done my underballs, my neckline, shoulder slope, everything. We've just drafted everything to save our time. So now we're just going to go over now. Look at, so the only thing I want you to know now is that this is like a free hand, so you're going to add extra inch for the armhole. So I already added 1 inch for my armhole when I was cutting it. My armhole, my shoulder is actually 7.05, but I did 8. Add extra half inch. Sorry, that's like 1 inch extra that I added. So that is the one. So I'm just going to go ahead now and connect it. So we have our allowance at our armhole. So in this method, you're going to first of all take your normal body measurement. I took my bust measurement, and you're going to add your allowance. Add your allowance, your normal 2 inches allowance. Add it at the bust point, the underballs, and the waistline. Just add all your allowance. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead. I did not add it when I was cutting, so I'll explain it very well for you to understand. So after adding all my allowance, just go over now to connect. So this is like a freehand pattern, guys. Yes, so I'm just going to go ahead now to connect. Then the first one, we didn't do the back pattern, so we are going to do it at this other one because it's almost the same thing. So guys, this is what we have. So I'll just go ahead now to cut it. So after that, I'll just come up by 1 inch because I want to place this front pattern to cut the back pattern. So that's 1 inch which we are going to use for the back pattern. You can use any neck you want. So I've placed it on a plain sheet. This is our back pattern, so I'm just adding my zip allowance of 2 inches. Zip allowance of 2 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead now to draw a straight line across. Then when we are done, I usually add my allowance here, like 1 extra inch, because we're going to take that here. You can add it at the zip side, 1 inch. That means your zip allowance is going to be 3 inches. But I do not want to confuse you guys, so I'm just going to leave it, and it's almost going to be the same thing. So what you know is that you're just going to have extra allowance of 1 inch, which is not zip allowance. Do you understand? Because you're going to cut it off and you're going to take that. So this is me just taking my normal 2 inches allowance, and I'm going to add 1 inch over the other side. This is why I don't want you guys to get confused. So just take your 2 inches zip allowance or whatever allowance you want, then just add 1 extra inches at the side. So this is me just adding extra inch, 1 inch at the side, because we are going to be cutting it through and we're going to take our back dart. So you can cut 2, you can cut 1 and sew it right back. So guys, I've done placing this front to cut the back, so I'm just going to cut our back neckline. So I'll go ahead and indicate there that this is where our measurement is starting. So guys, I'll just go ahead now to drop the front, and I'm going to, now we already have our back pattern, so I'll just go ahead now to drop it, and I'll just label it the zipper so I'll know. So let's go ahead now and work on this front. So this method is that you're just going to go ahead now. This is, so what we are going to do in this method, we already have our chest line, we have our bust point. So on your chest line, you're going to mark 3. That's your nipple to nipple minus ½ inch. So you're going to mark 3 there, then you're going to mark 2 here, and you're going to mark 3. What you mark at your arm or at your chest line is what you're going to mark at your under bust. So you're just going to go ahead and connect there and then connect here. So you're going to connect there and then connect here. So this is it. If you have a bigger bust, you can actually mark, you can mark 2, you can mark 1 at your bust point, then you can mark 3 or 4. So it all depends on how big your size of bust is. So mine is medium, that's why I marked 2, because I don't want it. Guys, I'm so sorry. When I was recording, I did not know that my iPhone camera has already told me iPhone storage, it has stopped recording. So I did not know. It was when I checked and now noticed. So please, you guys, forgive me. I'm just going to explain what happened here. So you already know we marked 3 there and 3 here. So what I did, I just dotty, then I connected it. I just connected it this way, guys. Please, I connected it this way, and I went ahead now. As you can see, I'm just blending it so you can see how the bust came out. So you can see how the bust came out. So after we have done that, we are going to go ahead now to take our neckline, because we'll be cutting the yoke out. So I'm just going to come down by ½ inch, 1 inch, or whatever inch you want to come down with. So I'm just going to come down by ½ inch here, and we are just going to go ahead now and connect it to our arm, or you can connect it anywhere, anyhow you want it. You can just connect it anyhow you want it. So this is just going to be a guideline for me, so I'm just going to connect it this way. I'm just going to dot. Yes, this is going to make it easy for me to kind of have that smooth curve right there. This is also depending on the style that you're making, guys, depending on the style you're making. So if your client should give you a dress to make, you know the style will be there. So you'll be looking at the style, like, how was it curved? Was it this way? You try it, was it this way? And that is it. So this one I'm not looking at anywhere, but I'm just using my judgment. So you're just going to, and also depending on how you want it to be, if it's going to be a net, if you want your bust to be showing and all of that, you know, if you cut it this way, your bust is not going to show. Yes, so this is our yoke. We're just going to get ahead now to cut our neck. So we are going to go ahead now to keep it aside, and we'll continue with this one because we already have our yoke. So because this point too is coming up, we are going to also extend that to that point. So this is what we now have, guys. This is what we now have. So this is now what we now have. Guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and do not worry, I'm still going to drop another detailed video just where I'm cutting only this particular last method. In case you like it, I'm going to just drop it for me on the comment section. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'll make it more detailed for you guys. Yes, so I'm just going to go ahead now to blend it. So now after you're done with that, we already have our side. So now we are looking for our center front. So now for you to get your center front, this is what you just place on a fresh paper, unfold. So you're just going to connect these lines. You're going to connect these lines, and you're going to connect all the lines. So after that, you know your bust point. My bust point is 3.05. so I'm going to take exactly my bust point on my chest line. I'll take exactly my bust point. Remember when we were minusing 3, so I'm going to take exactly my underbust. Then when I come to my bust point, I'm going to take 4. If my bust is big or I want the cup to really, I'll take 5. It all depends. If your bust is big, that means your normal underbust is going to be, your nipple to nipple is going to be 4. So that means you cannot take 4 here. That means you're going to take like 5. So I'll come to my underbust and my waistline. I'm still taking that my exact nipple to nipple. So it's only on my bust point that I added only ½ inch. I can add 1 inch if I want. I can add ½ inch. So this is me just going over now to connect it, because we are trying to have another cup for our center front. We are trying to make our center front, guys. We're just going to draw this line straight. We're going to draw the line straight. And you know, if we did not extend our neckline up, it could have just stopped there. But since we extended it up, it would have stopped here. But since we extended it up, we also have to connect it. You have to connect it. So I'm just looking for how I'm going to be comfortable so I can connect it very well. I also come down over here and I'll still take down my 3.05. So we are just going to go ahead now and connect it. Going to go ahead and connect it this way. So this is what we have, guys. We're also going to go over now to connect it very well, blend it. Going to go over now to blend it. And when we are done, we are going to take our neckline, our exact neckline. This is pattern. I actually learned tailoring. I've learned tailoring from like 4 different type people, not because they were not good, they were all good, but it's because of relocation. That's why. So this is pattern from one of my madam. This is the pattern she uses. So this is it. And our bustiers are always very, very nice, like very dope. So even for blouse and all of those things, these are the patterns she used. So guys, this is how it came out, and this is our yoke. You can see we did not cut anything, we did not do all those things, but it still came out. So there are lots of other methods. I think I still have like 2 methods. So there are lots of methods that you can use in cutting your bustier. There are lots of methods, guys. So even if you want to cut your princess darts, you can use this method. You can use it. So let's go ahead and take our bust dart. So just keep that aside. For us to take our bust dart is the difference between your back arm length and your front arm length waistline. That's going to be your, so mine is 1.5. waist side. There's not going to be all those gaping extras and all of that. So take your bust dart. This one, you know, is free, and so I'm not going to cut it out. I will just, is when I'm stitching, I'll just take it on the dress. I'll just take it on the dress. And so that is it. And remember, when you take your bust dart, that means after sewing, your back side is going to be shorter, because your back and your front waistline, they are not the same. So you're just going to trim the excess off and make sure that they are the same at the side. That is it, not the front, at the side. So now let's go ahead now to take our bust point and our waistline. So I'm just going to go ahead now to connect. We don't need under bust for the back side, so I'm just going to take my chest line, which is 8, and I'm going to connect it like this. So we're going to go ahead now to cut our back yoke. Remember, for the yoke, and if you want to use a loop, it depends if you're using a zip or a loop. So if you're using a loop, your zip allowance is not part of it though. So it's not part of it. So your loop is going to start from that allowance that I added, like from your normal measurement. That is why you've already added 1 inch at the armhole, remember. So you're going to use ½ inch to do the loop, or to turn it. You're going to turn it. Then you're also going to use the other ½ inch to join the shoulder. So I just came up randomly, maybe 2 inches down from the neckline, and I just connected it. And from there I just came down by ½ inch, and I just connected it ½ inch from my chest line. You can come down by anyhow you want and just connect it that way. And that is it for the loop or for the yoke, because you're going to add a loop. That's for your button, if you want button, or it's going to be button if you're cutting like this actually. So I'm just taking my dart. I'm taking ½ inch on both sides. That's 1 inch. Remember, we added 1 inch allowance extra, so that is the 1 inch that we are going to take out. That's the 1 inch. So just connect it to your chest line. I'm going to tear this out, so let's just go ahead and cut. This is it. So I folded my zip allowance, and this is how it's going to be, guys. This is our back yoke, and this is how it's supposed to be, and this is our front yoke, guys. This is it. Thank you guys so much for your support, guys. Please, this is like where I would like to end. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe, like, share to your friends. Thank you so much, and see you in my